That's insane. Rob, how are you physically, mentally, spiritually? How are things?
You know what? I think I'm hanging in there. The inside of me is aging and decaying, but the but my spirit and my will is strong.
That's good. I mean, you're doing it gracefully on the outside. I'll tell you that.
It's nice of you to say. Where are you at? Are you at home? Are you in a studio? What's going on there?
I'm actually at home. That's the cool thing. Since I'm the morning jock, I get to come home a little bit earlier than normal. So it's one of those things where they're like, "Do you want to come back to the studio? Do you want to do it at your house?" And I'm like, "Man, keep me home. I'm good."
Yeah, no doubt.
Yeah. Which I like your dog in the background. That's really cool.
I know he's chilling, he's giving me the look of death right now. Like, what are you doing?
Right. All right. So, Rob, let's get into it. We waited 10 years. You guys dropped a certified bop out of nowhere, Wild Dogs, Running in Slow Dream. Such a great song to come back to radio and say, hey, we're back also to the fans. Tell me what that song is about, and more importantly, what it actually means to you.
Well, I think Wild Dogs for me like was about it was a song about being a misfit kid and maybe you don't have your group, you're not sure who your others are, and then one day you kind of find them and they're another group of misfits and those are your people, and then like for me, there's a line, there's a world outside your window. Like that was a literal imagery of me, growing up where you have your friends that would come over at midnight and knock on your window and like, come on, let's go. We're going to go out, and you would go out and just make a bunch of bad decisions. Like,
Yeah.
it was a time in your life when you found the people that really resonated with you. And for me, I think, that extended on into, that's how I wound up meeting artistic people and meeting musicians and living on the road and this kind of gypsy lifestyle. Like all of that was kind of just born into me ever since I was, 17 years old and hitchhiking around the Southeast.
Hitchhiking, or like if that one friend that had keys to the car, but nobody knew you had to like push it, put it in neutral and just push it out, and hopefully nobody wakes up.
Yeah, or he did that because he actually just stole his mom's car for the night and she didn't know it.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah, we've
All
been
right.
there.
So for Wild Dogs, when are we getting a music video for it? Because I know the lyric video's out. You guys have that.
I just got the video yesterday. We just got the final cut. It looks amazing. Uh,
Very cool.
we leaned a lot into 80s on this record. There's a lot of different flavors of our favorite 80s kind of colors on this record. And we did the exact same thing with the video. We kind of leaned into, this kind of just great 80s vibe of a video. So we're really excited about it.
Which is pretty awesome because everything old is new again. 80s, I mean, you look at any Marvel cinematic trailer or any Marvel trailer, and it's always just 80s music blaring. So if you guys are like popping into that, doing that, I mean, for sure, the whole album's going to be awesome.
But for us, it's only because we're literally old enough to remember when they all came out. Like we were there when they came out. We were in high school when they came out.
So speaking of that stuff and how we're going back old is new, how is it finding these TikToks and just people discovering Matchbox 20, a whole new audience?
I used to think that I hated TikTok, and then I found out people were playing Matchbox 20 on it. I was like, man, TikTok's pretty cool. No, I think, listen, I mean, that's kind of amazing. It's a weird thing now. We live in this place where there's so much information that comes from so many places at so many times that people are living in these parallel universes and in their own realities, And so like we've been around long enough and been lucky enough that we have people that are for 30 years have been initiated and been following us along, and they've got their kids and their kids are coming in and they're checking it out. And then there are kids who are just kind of like just casually finding out about Matchbox 20. Some of them were of an age where they were Rob Thomas fans, and then they're like, oh, you guys know he was in a band, and then they find it that way. And then there's still kids on TikTok to this day that are like, videotaping themselves listening to a Matchbox 20 for the very first time. They've never heard of it. And all of these realities of our band and our music are existing in the exact same time. So, and sometimes, you're like, well, I can't wait for these people to hear it. And you're like, oh, but I can't wait for these new people to hear it as well.
So with the new album, Where the Light Goes, what can fans expect if you're going to delve into that 80s vibe that you said, because you guys have been around for so long and stuff like that? But what else can fans expect from it?
I mean, I think we set out to make not a pandemic record. We didn't want to write songs about isolation and songs about rage and songs about uncertainty and all the things that we were kind of maybe feeling at the heart, of the lockdown. We wanted to talk more about all the positive things that we learned about ourselves, about the things that we're looking forward to in the future, about the hopefulness and the positivity. And so we think it's a pretty joyful record. I think there's a lot of uplifting moments that are on this record, purposefully so.
That's so cool. And I love that because, yeah, you're right. It's been 3 years. A lot of people still iffy about things, and rightfully so. It's one of those things that you can never really get out of, and especially if you're in your own mental space. But now that we're able to go and enjoy concerts, and especially with outdoor pavilions like the ones that you guys are playing, it's a really good experience for everybody to head out.
Yeah, I mean, I think, even people who are like we didn't go out in 2022 because we had some people, we had problems with people at home with comorbidities. It was just something that we weren't safe enough yet. And even for us and people like us that are going through these kind of things, there's something you feel, at least, it's a nice outdoor concert. You feel
Right.
like you feel like a little safer to be out there. So maybe for
Exactly.
some people that feel like they're not quite ready yet. And I think, we're still not in a place where we're ready to shame those people. Everybody's coming out in their own time, and everybody needs to do what feels safe to them.
Yeah, exactly. So we're a month away from the tour launching. How do you mentally prepare to get ready to go? Because I know that it hasn't been 10 full years. I know you guys are out on the road for a bit, but now it's a full-fledged spring summer tour. How do you mentally prep for that?
Honestly, it's the practical things that are the hardest thing. Like right now, my wife and I trying to figure out, we got to make sure that all the stuff is closed up for the house and for the summer and it's ready to go. We got to make sure that we've got all the stuff that we need to make for the dog, to make sure that he's on, that we have all of his food and all the stuff we need for his
Yeah.
food. Anything that we need to buy to do it. So like we have like a room of just stuff that we're stocking up that we're going to load up on the bus when it gets here. So like for us, we're so used to this. And my wife, she's been with me for 24 years. She's been on most of these tours with me, at least for parts of the tour. So it's about getting your stable life in order so that you can lock it up for a summer and then run off with the wild dogs and just, go be a teenager for the summer.
So awesome. Since we're talking about tours, you guys are going out again. You're going to be here in Pittsburgh in July in the Pittsburgh region. Let's manifest something huge, right? Maybe even a couple of years from now. What's your dream lineup? Matchbox 20, it's a festival tour. Who else would you want to go out, whether it's old or newer bands?
I think that I would love, actually, Paul and I talk about this all the time. I think there's a tour out there that's a festival of of the proportions of a Lollapalooza, right? But with bands like us and Maroon 5 and Train, Goo Goo Dolls, like pop radio, like a pop rock
Pop rock, yeah.
Palooza. I think that could be a lot of fun. I mean, I would love to go out with, I have a lot of friends who are country artists. I think like Matchbox 20 and Brad Paisley, that could be a nice cross hybrid of people kind of getting to know each other's music and getting to know each other's cultures and lives. We're
That
pretty
would be
open.
awesome.
Yeah.
John Mayer popping in there too?
John is a very good friend of mine, and I'm not sure if you know this, but he's out doing these arenas on his own with just him and a guitar.
Yeah.
So I don't think he needs anybody right now. I think John's doing fine.
Yeah, he just came to Pittsburgh. It was a pretty good show. But Wild Dogs, it's all over Q929. People are loving it. We're loving playing it. It's just one of those things where Matchbox 20 is back. So definitely pre-order the album Where the Light Goes. It's already pre-order available. May 26th when you guys are going to be releasing it. And then in July, you're coming to Pittsburgh. I know my time is limited with you, but I would like to play a game that I call Rapid Fire with Rob Thomas from Matchbox 20 that may or may not be Pittsburgh based.
That's okay. I wish Paul, Paul from Matchbox is from Pittsburgh. He's a
Yeah,
Pittsburgh
yeah.
native, and so I wish that I had him here. But if I do have to phone a friend, he could be my guy.
All right, cool. So these are real quick. Heinz ketchup or Hunt's?
Heinz.
Yep, that's it. Mr. Rogers' Neighborhood or Sesame Street?
Oh, come on. You know what? Mr. Rogers. I'm gonna go with Mr. Rogers.
Gotta go with that. Okay, fries on a salad or fries in a sandwich?
Fries on a salad?
Yeah.
I guess it depends on how high I am. I'm gonna have to go with a sandwich.
Kind of a trick question. We put fries on everything out here. So either way, you're getting fries, Rob.
I do. I am a potato chip on a sandwich guy, if that counts.
Yeah, that'll work. I don't want to take up your time. I do appreciate it. July 14th, Pavilion at Star Lake. We can't wait to see you out here, and especially because it's an outdoor venue, like you said. Bring out the lawn chairs, bring out the blankets, and just hang out with Matchbox 20.
Yeah, right on. Thank you, Monica. Go enjoy the rest of your day.
Thanks. You too.
All right, thanks.